It was a blistering afternoon in the narrow alleys of Dharavi, where the stench of poverty tangled with the scent of frying pakoras and diesel smoke. The sun beat down on the rusted tin rooftops and crumbling cement walls, baking the streets in a kind of heat that burned through skin and pride alike. A girl, no older than 16, her skin browned and cracked from the sun. Her long hair tied in a tattered red ribbon, shuffled barefoot through the dust. Her name was Aanya. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. Her stomach growled like a trapped animal. But she was used to hunger. Hunger had been her companion longer than anyone she'd ever loved. Her father had died when she was 9, crushed in a collapsed textile factory. Her mother followed soon after, taken by tuberculosis, leaving Aanya alone to fight the world with nothing but her sharp eyes and an iron will. That afternoon, she stumbled into a quiet corner of the slums she hadn't ventured before, searching for scraps behind a fancy house guarded by iron gates. Her eyes landed on a boy, about 7, seated in a wooden chair on the veranda. He was beautiful, like something out of a painting, his hair neatly combed, his eyes the color of wet coal. But what caught her attention wasn't his face, it was his legs. They didn't move. He sat limp, his feet twisted awkwardly inward, his hands resting on the arms of the chair like they'd given up to. A man, presumably the boy's father, sat across from him, sipping a glass of cold lassi, his silk curtain billowing in the breeze. His phone rang, and he laughed loud, rich, carefree. Aanya, out of instinct more than hope, clutched her stomach and called out, "Baya, please, just a little food." The man glanced up, eyes narrowing. "What are you doing here, girl? Go beg elsewhere." But Aanya didn't leave. Something stirred inside her, something reckless. She looked again at the boy and then back at the man. "If I make your son walk," she said, voice trembling, "will you give me food?" The man's brow lifted. Then, as though she'd told him the son was made of bread, he laughed, a deep, mocking laugh that echoed in the courtyard. You're nothing but a filthy street girl. You think you can fix what the doctors couldn't." "He hasn't walked since he was a baby." "I can try," she said, stepping closer. "One try. If I fail, I'll leave. But if he walks, just give me food." Something about the fire in her eyes made him pause. His laughter faded into a smirk. "Fine," he said. "Go ahead. One miracle in exchange for one plate of food. Try your magic, slum girl." She walked to the boy. He looked at her with quiet curiosity, not fear. She knelt beside him, her fingers gently touching his legs. They were cold and thin, like twigs. His muscles had wasted away. She whispered softly, not words but a hum, a rhythm. Then she closed her eyes and began to massage the boy's legs with hands that had once massaged her dying mother's chest. Hands that had scavenged through filth, but held a healer's soul. Aanya had nothing but what she had learned through pain and instinct, and something greater than either was where the body stores its sorrow. The boy flinched. His toes twitched. The man's smirk faded. Aanya kept going, pressing, moving his limbs with slow persistence, coaxing life where there had been only stillness. Her voice hummed again, low, strange, almost like a lullaby, and a prayer had merged into one. Then the boy's leg moved, truly moved. First a knee, then a foot. He blinked in surprise and looked down at his own body as though it no longer belonged to him. Aanya pulled back, sweating, dizzy. Stand up, she whispered. The boy, uncertain, grabbed the arms of his chair. The man stood now, the lassie forgotten, his eyes wide. The boy rose shaky, awkward but upright. He took one step, then another. Then he ran stumbling into his father's arms, laughing, crying. And the world stood still. Aanya collapsed. When she woke, she was in a hospital bed, clean sheets, cold air, machines beeping gently around her. She panicked and tried to sit up, but a nurse gently pushed her back. She's awake. The nurse called. The man from the veranda walked in, no longer laughing. His expression was stunned, almost afraid. Behind him was the boy, now walking confidently, a toy car clutched in his hand. What did you do?" the man asked. "I kept my promise," Aanya croaked. "You didn't just make him walk," he said slowly. "You gave him back his life." She said nothing. "I want to help you." "What do you want?" "Money." A job. Asterisk, she thought about it, but she didn't want a handout. Not anymore. Asterisk, I want to learn, she said. I want to be a real healer. Not just with luck. I want knowledge. Asterisk, the man blinked. Then he smiled this time, without mockery. Asterisk, that moment changed everything. Asterisk, Aanya was enrolled in school. She studied like a woman possessed because she was possessed by the hunger to matter, to lift others as she had lifted that boy. Asterisk, she went on to study physiotherapy, neurology, ancient Indian massage therapy, and modern medicine. She merged what science taught her with the instinct passed down from her mother in the streets. And over time, she built a name. Asterisk, by 25. She had opened a chain of clinics free for the poor, paid for by the rich. Celebrities sought her touch. Paralyzed children walked. Stroke victims danced. She healed bodies and souls. Asterisk, she became a millionaire. Asterisk, but she never forgot the hunger. Asterisk, one day, an old man limped into her clinic in Mumbai. He was thin, his clothes dusty, his eyes tired. Asterisk, he said, I have no money, but I haven't walked without pain in 20 years. Asterisk, Aanya looked at him, smiled gently, and knelt before him. Asterisk, if I make you walk, will you give me your blessing? She asked. Asterisk, he laughed softly, warmly. Asterisk, and the circle was complete. Asterisk.